Namaskaram and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you here at Invest Kerala Global Summit 2025. Let's take a moment to applaud their incredible work. Today, it's all about exploring and exchanging ideas. Let's make the most of this opportunity to connect and learn and grow together. And ladies and gentlemen, it is our great pleasure to invite Mr. Vinod Manjula for the opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my dear panelists. This morning, we are going to have this session on revolutionizing agri-food, innovation in value-added produce and food processing. We have a very interesting set of panel members. Three of them are from outside India, and two of them from India. We'll be touching upon the trends in the industry, the innovations that is happening, how Kerala can tap into these best practices that is happening in their industry. Friends, we all know that the food industry is going through a transformative change. And to keep up ahead of the curve, we need to know what is happening the world over. And Kerala, through this Invest Kerala Global Summit, we are trying to position Kerala as a major food player. And to be that, we need to know what is happening the world over and how we can leverage the best practice that is happening. So to start with, I will briefly introduce the set of speakers that we have. Our first speaker would be Mr. Sanjay Sharma. He's the CEO of Okla India, overseeing the iconic brands like MTR and Eastern. With over 30 years of experience in the food industry, he has significantly expanded Okla's presence in India. Sanjay has previously worked with Voltas, Colgate-Palmolive, and Dabur Foods. He played a pivotal role in developing the Dabur food business and has been a member of the National Food Processing Committee for FICCI and CII. So I'll request the first keynote speaker, Mr. Sanjay, to take over.
My dear friends who are attending this session, it's indeed an honor to be here at the Invest Kerala Global Summit. No conversation about food processing can be complete without talking about agriculture. Because I believe that both these are quite strongly linked. Many people look at food processing as, something that takes the waste from agriculture and or deemed waste from agriculture and processes it. But I think the right way of looking at food processing is really an extension of agriculture. And therefore, no conversation, I believe, can be done without talking about improving the agriculture. Kerala has a deep-rooted agriculture tradition and always has played a role in India's food production. As we move forward, we must both recognize the challenges and the opportunities that lie ahead of us. When you look at India's food landscape, I believe that food landscape is evolving and is being driven by a younger population that prioritizes convenience. As traditional cooking skills are declining, we are at risk of losing heritage recipes. However, through effective innovations, we can preserve these foods by adapting them into modern formats and ensuring that convenience is maintained, convenience delivers, but it is, while delivering convenience, you maintain authenticity as well. If you look at the economic survey 23-24, I believe that agriculture continues to remain the backbone of our economy, and it supports a majority of India's population. Over 50% of India's population is based on agriculture. But when you look at its contribution to our GDP agriculture contributes just 18% of our GDP. In my mind, this imbalance signals an urgent need for transformation. Therefore, to truly revolutionize the food processing sector, we must first transform agriculture itself. Far too often, I believe that the variety and quality of agri-produce grown by our farmers is not tailored for processing, resulting in poor yields, higher costs, and making the end product that we market uncompetitive and unviable. Only by securing the right inputs from agriculture can we truly add value to our produce and serve our consumers effectively, because agriculture is the foundation and we, as the food processing industry, are the essential link between the farmer and the consumer. Integrating agriculture and food processing means viewing the latter as an extension of agriculture, a shift that can enhance the output, improve farmer income, and better meet evolving consumer demands. And therefore, what do we think are the challenges that we have in agriculture? To build a stronger and a more resilient agri-food sector, we must first understand the key obstacles that hinder the progress. I see 4 main challenges that impact farmers, businesses, and consumers alike, making it crucial to address them with strategic interventions. The first is really about the quality of produce and the post-harvest losses. High quality produce starts at the seed level. When the seed quality is poor, yields drop, produces of lower quality, which leads to greater post-harvest losses as crops spoil and fail to meet market standards. This challenge weakens consumer trust and makes it harder for India to compete globally in the agri-food sector. The second big challenge, and it's a challenge that we face in a real term on an everyday basis, is pesticide overuse and food safety concerns coming out of that. One of the most pressing issues in agriculture today is the overuse of pesticides. While food processing companies do not control farming practices, they are directly impacted by the quality of raw material that we procure. Unlike food processing businesses, which must adhere to a quality standard and safety regulation, farm-level produce in India is subject to limited enforceable standards. Excessive pesticide residues can erode consumer trust and hinder export potential, making food safety becoming a critical concern for the industry. The third big challenge I feel is the changing consumer preferences and the risk to the culinary heritage that we have today. As traditional cooking skills decline, India's younger generation seeks a food that is convenient, nutritious, and sustainably sourced. When consumers once settled for primary produce, which was basically transforming raw material into basic goods, the changing landscape now demands value-added offerings through secondary processing. However, this shift puts traditional recipes, cooking methods, and regional flavors at risk. Without bridging the gap between tradition and innovation, these heritage foods may fade from everyday consumption. The fourth challenge, which I feel is there, is climate change and sustainability challenges. We've seen extreme weather patterns, water scarcity, and increasing waste levels pose a significant risk to agriculture and food production. Additionally, harvest and crop production are heavily dependent on climatic conditions, leading to price fluctuations for input commodities. These fluctuations impact brands and businesses, creating pricing challenges for consumers and affect the profitability of our farmers, ultimately hindering India's ability to be competitive at a global stage. Therefore, what do we think are the proposed solutions? Superior processing yields and quality of produce form the cornerstone of a win-win situation between the farmer and the food processing companies. To truly integrate agriculture with food processing, the latter must be seen as a natural extension of the farm. In my view, solutions fall in two broad categories: initiatives from the farming community and actions from the food processing companies. Let's talk about the initiatives from the farming community. Everything begins at our farms, where every decision we take influences quality and the consistency of our produce. Enhanced seeds for superior processing yields. It is the start with the very foundation, which is our seeds. By adopting high quality seeds, processing yields focused seed varieties, farmers can ensure that their produce not only meets market demand, but also maintains a standard that food processors can rely on. High quality seeds lead to uniformity and robustness in crops, setting the stage for better processing outcomes. The second thing that we need to look from a farm produce point of view is optimizing the farming practices. Beyond the seed, the way we cultivate our crops is critical. The farmers need to adopt modern techniques that boost yield and quality. This means using disease-resistant seeds, ensuring predictable water availability through better water management practices, and by optimizing pesticide usage to protect both the crop health and consumer safety. Consider Vietnam, a notable example where farmers in the black pepper sector have successfully tackled their challenges. By adopting disease-resistant varieties, organic farming practices, and improved post-harvesting processes, Vietnam has been able to build a competitive pricing ecosystem that benefits both farmers and buyers. Kerala can draw from these lessons to not only sustain but also enhance our spice industry. We also need to work on robust farm to fork linkages. The journey from the farm to the consumer's table must be seamless. This involves embracing mechanization for harvesting, establishing efficient warehousing, and streamlining logistics. By creating robust linkages, we can endeavor to drastically reduce post-harvest losses, ensuring that the quality produce reaches consumer swiftly and in peak condition. A well-integrated supply chain adds value to the entire process, ensuring reliability and consistency. Now let's look at what are the things that the food processing companies need to do. Food processing companies must serve as an extension of agriculture, adding value and transforming raw produce into high-quality products that meet modern consumer expectations. The first task that food processing companies have is building brands and creating products for evolving consumers. I always believe that it's the front-end demand that will lead to better earnings from our farmers. And traditionally, India has been very weak with building brands. So if you build strong brands, farm produce will always find a way into those brands and therefore higher requirements and better prices. And therefore, I believe that companies must build brands that resonate with today's consumer by honoring culinary traditions while delivering clean label and high quality premium products. At Orkla India, we craft products with the aim to preserve authenticity through our ready-to-eat offerings that blend tradition with modern appeal. Let me give you an example. Our latest launch is a 5-minute breakfast range that aims to transform Kerala's traditional dishes like put and appam, which normally requires hours of preparation, into a quick, delicious, and 5-minute cooking option, while retaining the authenticity and the delivery, the organoleptic delivery, which the consumer desires. The second thing that the industry must do is a commitment to responsible practices. I believe that sustainability is a must. Food processing companies must lead in managing energy, water, and waste responsibly. Kerala already sets a high benchmark with initiatives like the world's first fully solar-powered airport and widespread organic farming. At Orkla India, we reflect this commitment through some of the initiatives like sustainable farming projects that support farmers by conserving natural resources and improving soil health through education on sustainable practices and nutrient usage. We are also focused on using the natural resources responsibly. We have programs around renewable energy usage in our factories, responsible water usage, and educating consumers to be conscious citizens to segregate waste so as to effectively recycle plastic. Furthermore, I believe that through the CSR programs, we can drive better farming practices through environmental stewardship and resource management, creating a positive feedback loop across the agri-food ecosystem. I'm therefore concluding my address today after having a broad understanding of both the challenges and the potential solutions. I believe collaboration is essential. All stakeholders must unite to implement sustainable practices, modernize food processing, and support our interdependent agri-food system in meeting the evolving consumer needs. At Orkla India, we are exploring ways to build stronger ties and support efforts to enhance Kerala's agri-food sector. We see a potential in collaborating on initiatives that improve farm-to-fork linkages, boost infrastructure, and promote sustainable practices and encourage the food processing innovation. Drawing on our experience in consumer-driven product innovation and renewable energy, we are keen to investigate opportunities that could help advance Kerala's agriculture growth and long-term economic sustainability. The challenges in India's agriculture and food processing sectors are significant, but these are not unsurmountable. Through collaboration between the government, the industry, and the farmers, we strive to create a resilient, profitable, and a sustainable agri-food system. As we engage in discussions today, let us focus on the actionable steps that can drive meaningful change. Together, we can make India's agri-food sector globally competitive, sustainable, and future-ready. Thank you very much, and I look forward to the discussions ahead.
Good way to start the panel session. The 4 challenges that you mentioned about on the quality of the produce, the pesticide, overuse, the decreasing of cooking skills, and the climate change. You touched upon all 4 nicely, and what Orkla is doing about it. So we'll delve deeper during our panel discussion. Thank you. We have our next speaker, Mr. Jean Mann. He's a prominent figure in the fragrance and flavor industry. He earned a Master's of Science in Synthetic Organic Chemistry from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In 1995, following his father, Mercure Mann retirement, Jean assumed the role of president of the Mann Group, a family-founded business establishment in 1871. He specializes in aromatic raw materials, fragrance composition, and food flavors. Under his leadership, the company expanded its global presence, operating in 39 countries and with 28 manufacturing sites and 50 R&D centers. In 2011, he was recognized as the Entrepreneur of the Year for France by ENY and the economic magazine Low Enterprise. After stepping down as a president in 2024, Jean continues to contribute to the industry as the chairman and managing director of Mancanca. He has been made the knight in 2 major French nationwide orders, Chevalier de l'Ordre National du Ventre,
I hope I pronounced it right. I've been trying to get it right for quite some time. And second, Charlo di Laudo National do Lejo. Oh, no. I'm sorry if I did it wrong. Over to you, Mr. John.
Namaste. It is an honor to speak before you all today at the Invest Kerala Global Summit. My name is Jean Mann, and I was the president of the Mann Group, a company founded in 1871 in France by my great-grandfather. We've built a global reputation for creating high-quality flavors, fragrances, and ingredients, driven by innovation and sustainability, while mastering our sources of supply from farm to extracts. Established in 1871, Mann is a family-owned business with 150 years of expertise in the fragrance and flavor industry. With nearly 40 production facilities across the globe, Mann is a key player in both fragrance and flavor markets. We blend traditional and timeless processes with cutting-edge technology to create world-class solutions for the global market. We are focused on our environmental impact and sustainable sourcing, ensuring that the company meets modern consumer demand for responsible products. For over 150 years, Mann has seamlessly blended science and creativity, industry and emotion, crafting a unique identity that stands the test of time. As a fully family-owned company, we've built a legacy fueled by passion and innovation, using state-of-the-art technology to drive us forward. From the art of biology to the precision of organic chemistry and our expertise in extraction, Mann continues to lead with cutting-edge solutions that honor both tradition and the future. Here, every formula is a testament to our commitment to blending nature's wonders with scientific mastery, creating an unparalleled experience that resonates deeply with the world and with the consumers. Over the years, I've focused on strategic expansions that align with our values and vision for the future, and it is in this context that I want to share with you today why we chose to invest in Kerala and acquire Cancor. Kerala has been a global spice trade hub for over 3,000 years, with spices like black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, and nutmeg integral to the economy. Kerala lies on the west coast of India with access to international trade routes through the Arabian Sea. The state is home to leading spice research centers, including the Spice Board of India, driving innovation and sustainability in spice farming and processing. The biodiversity of the Western Ghats open up access to thousands of botanicals whose value to our society is still unexplored. Kerala's connection to trade routes spans centuries. As the spice capital of the world, it has played a central role in global trade since ancient times. The state's ongoing commitment to research and innovation in new technologies ensure that Kerala remains a leader in both quality and sustainable practices in the industry. Imagine Kerala as a diamond mine, filled with resources yet to be fully discovered. The state's agricultural ecosystem, rich in spices and botanicals, is home to a growing range of extracts, used not only in flavoring, but increasingly in nutraceuticals and even cosmetics. We stand at a critical juncture where innovation and technology can turn Kerala's raw material and its wealth into world-class sustainable products. The state's economic growth, high literacy rate, and focus on green agriculture create an ideal environment for businesses looking to scale up and innovate, making Kerala a prime investment destination. Cancor's legacy dates back to 1857, starting as a small-scale operation focused on spice trading, capitalizing on Kerala's rich spice heritage. When we invested in Cancor, it marked a turning point in the company's journey. Our partnership enabled Cancor to expand its portfolio beyond spices to include food ingredients, nutraceuticals, personal care ingredients, and plant-based extracts, as well as experimental agriculture. The transformation that has made Cancor into what it's today is reflected in the company's growth: 500 plus customers, 800 plus countries, 8 manufacturing locations, more than 800 employees, and more. Cancor is now a recognized brand, offering a diverse range of products and serving markets across North America, Europe, and Asia, while maintaining a strong focus on sustainability and innovation. Do I have to press twice? No, it's coming. We have a small video to relax you in between the speech. Thank you for your patience. So in 2014, the acquisition of Cancor was a strategic move that allowed us to leverage local expertise, tap into a robust supply chain, and align our global vision with Kerala's rich agricultural heritage, driving innovation and sustainability in spice processing. Our goal was to integrate from farm to our extracts, to master the contaminants mainly. With Cancor's advanced extraction technologies and premium supply chains of natural products, we were able to serve top global consumer goods brands. Together, we've built a strong supply chain that meets the ever-growing global demand for sustainable, high-quality ingredients. Cancor's supply chain is based on trust, respect, and responsible sourcing. Kerala is emerging as a global investment hub, particularly in agri-tech and the flavor and fragrance industries, thanks to its natural resources, favorable climate, and strategic location. With untapped market potential in flavor, fragrance, nutraceuticals, and plant-based extract, the state offers significant growth opportunities. Kerala is well positioned to meet the rising global demand for sustainable, eco-friendly ingredients. Its robust infrastructure, skilled workforce, and supportive government policies create a stable environment for businesses. Committed to sustainability and diversity, Kerala, along with companies like Cancor, is driving innovation and contributing to global supply chains. As we look to the future, our vision for Cancor is clear. We are committed to expanding our global footprint while remaining true to our roots in Kerala. Innovation will continue to be at the core of what we do, and we invest in sustainable technologies and modernize spice extraction practices. But it's not just about growth, it's also about giving back to the local communities that have been instrumental in our success. We aim to support sustainable agriculture, empower local farmers, and drive inclusive growth in Kerala. Investing in Kerala offers a wealth of opportunities. A hidden diamond mine, Kerala is rich in natural resources, yet waiting to be fully polished. With its century-old legacy in spice trade and a wealth of untapped botanicals, the state offers vast, new and original potential for innovation and growth. From sustainable agriculture to cutting-edge processing technologies, Kerala's rich biodiversity and strategic position make it an unparalleled investment destination. Just as a gemstone, when mined and shaped, reveals its brilliance, Kerala's true potential is ready to shine for those willing to invest in its future. At MAN, we've seen this potential firsthand with our investment in Cancor, and we are confident that others who follow will unlock even more possibilities in this vibrant, dynamic region. Thank you for your attention.
Ms. Mio Oka. Ms. Mio Oka is currently serving as the Country Director for Indian Resident Mission at the Asian Development Bank, popularly known as ADB, since February 2024. Ms. Oka is in charge of steering ADB operations in India and fostering relationship with the government and the country's other development partners. Prior to this role, she was the director of the Emerging Areas team in the Agriculture, Food, Nature, and Rural Development Sector Office at the ADB from July 23 to January 2024. Over to you.
Good morning, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Just to explain a little bit about ADB, in 2024, ADB has become a largest development partner for India, investing $4.24 billion in 22 projects across more than 10 different states, and sectors included agriculture, logistics, skills, and urban development, and so forth. The finance that we bring is not so important, but the global technologies and additional private financing is the ADB's value addition. It is a great pleasure to be one of the most beautiful places in India today to discuss one of the most exciting and transformative topics in food and agriculture sector, innovation in value-added produce and food processing to revolutionize agri-food. The food processing sector in India has become the highest growth industries with significant employment potential. The government of Kerala rightfully recognizes this sector as a priority, underscoring the state's commitment to advancing food processing as a key economic driver. Kerala, contributing nearly 20% of India's total food exports, is uniquely positioned to showcase the power of value addition and innovative food processing techniques, setting an example for the entire nation. However, as highlighted in the recent NABARD report, Kerala faces the common challenges in pan-India, such as high land and labor cost, small land holdings, declining agricultural productivity due to climate change and soil degradation, lack of cold storage facilities and food processing clusters, and skilled labor force. ADB has been a key partner to many states' government, including Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and so forth, in bringing cutting-edge technologies to enhance the storage, transport, packaging, and handling of perishables, and so. Let me try to explain what we'll focus if we are given opportunity to support Kerala state. First, marketing. It is important to develop an entire value chain starting from market. This will require the shift from the mindset of producing more for better income towards produce what are marketable. Certification, quality standards, and logistic requirement will be determined by the markets and type of produce. On markets, we would support identifying new export markets beyond UAE, EU, and US. Also, we would suggest Kerala to look into specialized markets such as gluten-free, plant-based essence, and vegan markets. We'll then look at the entire value chain ecosystem, the farm to fork connectivity, and support logistic infrastructure, digitalization, and product quality enhancements through certification, branding, and climate resilient production practices, and irrigation, and so forth. Of course, it will have to come strengthened provision of working capital to value chain operators, including those working on farm inputs, food distribution, and retail, food processing, and agri-logistic in collaboration with financial institutions. Now, turning to food processing. There are various levels of intensity in processing, from minimal processing to ultra processing that involves industrial process. Given domestic consumers' preference on fresh and minimally processed food in India, Kerala can look into minimal processing such as pre-cut fruits, frozen vegetables, and pasteurized milk. Food retain most of their neutral properties. It offers a relatively low cost, low skill entry point for value addition, making it accessible for rural, smaller communities. However, the care should be given to ensure food safety. And given a high quality and educated population in Kerala, the state can excel in this area. Food products are vulnerable to three primary types of contamination: chemical, biological, and physical. Ensuring that these risks are minimized is essential for public health and consumer trust. The use of advanced equipment such as automatic sorting machines, slicer, washing conveyors, air dryer, packaging materials are critical in ensuring the processed food meets the highest standard of hygiene, safety, and quality. And here, innovation in pre-cooling, washing, disinfection, and traceability system are important in extending shelf life and ensure product quality and safety. In food science, technology, microbiology, and post-harvest physiology are vital field of expertise, which ADB will be happy to offer. While we talk about value chain and processing, we should not forget that the quality of fresh food still remains as a key. Although fresh food represents a significant portion of the market, the potential value addition in this space is still underexploited. Proper storage, cold chain, and the ability to release fresh produce at the right time enables the extension of shelf life, making it possible to market fresh food over a longer period, thereby reducing spoilage and waste. Last but not least, as we continue to innovate, we must be mindful of the environmental impacts, as other panelists mentioned. Avoid overuse of pesticides, energy efficiency, waste reduction should be a key guiding principle to ensure that we are not just safeguarding consumer safety, but also contributing to the long-term health of agricultural soil and the price increase of fresh produce. In conclusion, value addition food processing will drive economic growth and improving livelihoods for farmers and entrepreneurs if it is done well. With vibrant and talented population here in Kerala, the state has the potential to lead the way in developing sustainable value-added products that can compete on the global stage. And ADB is here to support. Thank you.
I will just introduce our next panelist, is Mr. Aju Jacob. He's the Managing Director of Synthite Industries Private Limited, the world's largest producer of spice oleoresins and essential oils. He holds a degree in chemical engineering from Bangalore University and an MBA from the Indian School of Business. Under his leadership, Synthite has expanded in global footprints and achieved significant growth. Aju has also served as the chairman of CI Kerala. In fact, I worked under him as vice chair. And he's involved in other various county initiatives. And his brother, Mr. Viju, is also there from the same group. So, Aju, CI, no, can you have one more mic, please? I'll hand over my mic. In fact, one of the best units where CI members go for learning mission is to Synthite. We have one of the best plans in Kerala. And other two came from outside Kerala. You started from Kerala, went across the globe. And today, you hold around 30% close to market share in the oleoresin space. Can you briefly tell me about Kerala, your experience in Kerala, and how Kerala helped you to grow and become an international giant?
I mean, first of all, it's great to see a full house. You know, it is really feels there's so much of interest in this space. It definitely does. It does have. And just briefly talk about Synthite. We were founded in 1972. My father founded the business primarily because of all the spices that's grown in this part of the world. And the exports of raw spices was big at that time. And we saw the opportunity for a value-added spices exports. And over the years, consistently maintaining our focus on quality, spending efforts on R&D, improving on product line, we've been able to consistently maintain that growth. I think Cancor and Synthite were almost at the same time, established around the same time. And over the years, the fact that we looked at, again, Kerala today is not our biggest production unit because all the research happens here, the basic development happens here, but depending on how the scales, volumes have gone up, we've gone to other parts of the country and other parts of the world to process because of the proximity to raw material. And in most cases, as other speakers have mentioned, processing close to the origin makes a big difference. So that's what we have been focusing on, and over the years, the volumes have significantly increased. And because of process involvement, the quality of the products, in fact, some of the contaminant challenges that we face today are something that as an industry we cannot eradicate because it involves, especially in countries like India where the farm sizes are very small and to establish new practices is very, very difficult. People are still very conventional. So it's very difficult. So we had to develop technologies to remove the contaminants post-extraction. So those are the technologies that we use today so that the food is safe to use and it can be used in all kinds of processed food. So that is the area that we are focused on because some of the challenges at the farm, like as Sanjay mentioned, ideally it should start at the farm and then gradually move forward. But technically a lot of things are not happening at the farm level as we desire. So that's where the technology and improvements that we had to do to be where we are today. Thank you.
So another word that keeps coming across is contaminants, which as industry we are all aware of, but we are not able to come over it due to various challenges. And I think that's something that we as industrialists should look into. Our next speaker is Mr. Kiran Karmel. He's an agriculture counselor at the Australian High Commissioner in New Delhi with responsibility for South Asia. He has over decades of experience working on agriculture trade, market access, and free trade agreement negotiations. Mr. Caramel was previously posted to Washington, D.C. and holds a Bachelor's of Commerce and Master's International Relationship with Mercure University. Since you have a lot of experience with agriculture trade and market access, what is it that Kerala farmers should be doing or Kerala industry should be doing to access to other countries to export more? Because if you look at Kerala, the export is only around 535 million USD, and it's only 2% of India's total exports. So can you throw some light on this particular area?
Thank you, Vinod. So, Vinod, I've got a question for you, real quick. Double horse, I'm very familiar with double horse. How much does a 10-kilo bag of mata rice go for, locally here?
Yeah, so here it will be around 60 rupees per kg.
60 rupees. So for a 10-kilo bag, retail bag,
Yeah.
how much? How much are we talking?
Yeah,
600?
600 rupees.
600 rupees, okay. So if I was to go to an online retailer in Australia,
I don't want to tell them now.
I think this is what the farmers need to think about. It will cost someone like me 1,300 rupees. And I think the other part of that is I would be willing to buy it. And so what opportunities Australia provides is a, I wouldn't say a huge market compared to other countries like, the US or EU, but we do have a market. The Indian diaspora, of which I am one, is the fastest growing diaspora in Australia. There's over 1 million Indians that are residing, or of Indian origin, residing in Australia. And so we are a population of 28 million. So if you think about it, 1 in 28 people is of Indian origin. So there's a real opportunity there for people or farmers and the agriculture sector in India to really tap into that diaspora, because that really opens up opportunities. You get that premium that I mentioned, so you're almost more than double profits can be derived just from an export market that is available in Australia, but also globally. So there are obviously diaspora all over the world that are looking for the high quality products that is coming from Kerala in particular. There's a reputation here for clean and green, which is something that I think really lends to the opportunities once again, because the consumer is looking for that high quality, safe produce, and the diaspora in particular is looking for produce from home. So from my perspective, there's I think a wealth of opportunities there for Kerala to really tap into that market that is ever growing.
Thank you, Kiran. So in fact, all those who are into exports, what we are all cognizant is about the contaminants and pesticides residue. And yes, we do get a premium in the market, and we pass on this to the farmer to help them to get into best practices, get into IPM programs or organic programs. So there is a linkage, what you get and what is being passed on to the consumer. And it works well for Kerala if the farmers, because the land is very less here, and we have to make sure that they get high value for the return so that farming becomes sustainable for Kerala. Thank you, Kiran. Now, since we are all looking at investment in Kerala, you are the two gentlemen who have invested in Kerala. One by aligning with one of the largest player here. How has this experience been, and what motivated you to look at this, and then how is experience be, and how other companies can collaborate like this to empower the industries of Kerala? Some thoughts on that.
Thank you. I think I must say that we were fortunate enough to partner with one of the best brands out of Kerala. Nawaz and his family had built a fantastic business out here, and we are very proud to have collaborated with them. I think why did we invest in Kerala comes out of the way we look at our business. We are a Norwegian company who has invested in a traditional Indian food business. Now, many people ask me, what does that mean? Why would a company from Norway come and invest in a traditional Indian food business? And I think, and that lies, the answer to that lies behind the way we look at business and the way we invest behind businesses. We basically invest behind strong local brands. And we are talking food here. There is nothing more local in the world than food. You don't have European cuisine. You have an Italian cuisine, you have a French cuisine, you have a Norwegian cuisine, you may have a German cuisine. Similarly, in India, there's nothing known as Indian cuisine. You have a cuisine from Kerala, you have a cuisine from Karnataka, and so on and so forth. So what we are looking out for is brands that serve a cuisine. And I think what Eastern does very well, and that's the partnership that we've got in Kerala, what Eastern does very well is serves the Kerala diaspora very well. Now, the great thing about Kerala is the fact that while we have 35 million people in the state, there are about 8 to 10 million people in all over the world. So pretty much in Australia and Canada and the biggest set sitting in the Gulf, which gives us access to building a very strong business across the world. So we are selling across 42 countries across the world, largely catering to Indian diaspora and looking at building the local food business and the local food cuisine with these consumers. So that's really why we came into Kerala, because we found a great local brand. It's a huge market. I mean, when you compare it to Europe, Norway has a population of 5 million people, right? And the entire Scandinavia has a population of 20 million people. Kerala alone is 35 million people. So it's a huge amount of people. We've got products that penetrate, 90% of the households in Kerala use our products, and therefore it provides a great market and a great long-term opportunity for us to invest and grow the business.
Thank you, thank you. And it's good to see that you're bringing out convenient products for the, for the new gen. At the same time, the challenges like with Swiggy and Quick Com coming in, the Gen Z is moving to ordering outside than cooking inside, which is a challenge for all of us, which we'll discuss on a later occasion. Over to you, Ron. Yours is a family-owned business, and when it comes to food trust and family business, has a great role to play. In Kerala, we have a lot of small family business into food processing. So how do you motivate the next gen to continue in the food processing?
Well, first, flavors and extracts are a small component of food, but an essential component of food because it gives a variety of taste, and that variety of taste drives the consumer preference. What we did in Kerala was to master our supply chain and try to transfer back to India some of the best practices of the Western world through understanding of international regulation, bringing also our analytical expertise and our expertise in shaping the flavor regulations worldwide. Because our company, with its history, has been participating in all of the main associations of flavor makers worldwide, like IOFI. Now, FAFI flavor has accepted to be a corresponding member and a part of IOFI. And I see that as an opportunity to leverage the knowledge we have on the toxicology of the components of our flavors, including to the India FSSAI and the government. We see that in establishing regulations on our products, including regulations on contaminants, as a prime objective of our integration in India, and of course, prime interest in mastering the contaminants in our products is to be part of that chain and to understand the chain that goes from the farming practices, trying to influence them slightly, to the food processors. And in that, the flavor industry and also my colleagues there of Synthite and also Plant Lipid, we have a role in coordinating this and uniting to have India prevail in its emergence of new food safety standards. I would like to add also that the Codex for spices is in India, and we should use this as a tool to leverage our science of agriculture from farm to fork and shape new analytical norms worldwide.
Thank you. Over to Mia. Now, in Kerala, we have a lot of startups and we have a lot of educational institutions who like to be empowered on the food sector. Is ADB doing anything around this, empowering the startups or academia? If so, if you could throw some light.
So ADB has been working in the skill sector. So I don't know if you are aware that the government announced in this year budget, there's a new ITI, national ITI upgradation program, which we are the one designing it. So eventually that program will be implemented here in Kerala. And of course, we are committed to finance about $900 million this year. But just to put this aside, in Kerala, we don't. However, in 2 states, one is Odisha. So we work with Wageningen University in Netherlands. And we try to have a center of excellence on agriculture technique. And we, as a part of skill program, we incorporate in that. And in Maharashtra, we have a Agri value chain project called Magnet. We have a specific financing for startups there, which has been quite successful, and they are now able to export bananas to Russia. Of course, there's a few other reasons for that, but they turn out to be very successful. So those are the 2 ways of supporting.
So I think gives you an opportunity to ink an agreement with our Kerala government on this, and they'll be allowed to do it. Now to Yaju. Now you are the one who went around the globe opening factories across. What is it a food processor from Kerala should be cognizant of, while going? Did you have some challenges which they should be careful about? Or they should keep on expanding in Kerala?
No, I think it's not a good news. I think Kerala has a limited scope unless we have the raw materials available here. So that is where we need to get our acts together, both from individuals as well as from the government. There's the opportunity for high precision farming, which can actually improve the quality of the raw materials being produced is one. For which, again, when you look at food today, food and wellness is becoming a part together because people are looking at eating healthier. So which means a lot of these ingredients which are native to us, which are of high quality, for example, curcumin gives its flavor, but at the same time it has got its quality. So how do we grow these raw material through precision farming and of a higher quality so that it can be processed and still maintain those businesses within India or within Kerala for that matter, because otherwise it's not long before Africa would be spreading their wings in terms of organized agriculture, and we would have our challenges there. So precision, because Kerala, we all talk about the knowledge economy and people being much more interested in working on quality knowledge-based industry. So farming also could be converted in that respect. The other is algae-based products, where you could grow the algae, microalgae in even bioreactors and get actives concentrated and then become a source for extraction or isolation of active ingredients. Then synthetic biology is another space where there's opportunity for active ingredients being produced through biomanufacturing. So these are 2-3 sectors which I think are the future or the disruptions that could happen, like all the disruption that's happening in the IT segment, what could happen in the food processing, and where Kerala could, because of the quality of the people here, the knowledge base, and the willingness to explore and experiment in high-value processing. That is where the opportunity I think Kerala has. I think we should, going back to the field and trying to grow raw materials may not be the future for Kerala because of the high cost and people not really wanting to do that.
Good. I think that's very true. I think we need to, as an industry, handhold them. And, because this, again, like is knowledge-based, using technology, using drones, using AI. So all this requires a lot of support. And maybe from CIA also we could, put in some help in this particular area. But you didn't tell me the secret sauce of expanding outside, but leave it on another day. Over to you, Kiran. Now, you have expertise in trade agreement negotiations. And some of the produce we are not able to sell in certain countries because of these trade agreements and the duties and taxes are there. Is there something that we should be working on or influencing the government to take on so that exports from Kerala could be done easily and better?
100%, 110%, 200. I don't know how high we can go, but no, this is something that's absolutely fundamental, I think, to strengthening Kerala's not just agriculture sector, but food processing sector as well. So many of you may or may not be aware, but we do have a free trade agreement already between Australia and India, which we call ECTA, so the Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement. That's a agreement that's halfway there. So it's an interim agreement, and there was a commitment to come back and continue negotiating. And so those negotiations are currently underway for a comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. And hopefully under that agreement, we will see further outcomes, particularly around agriculture, that will support, I guess, further growth in two-way trade, particularly in the agriculture sector. And we're very conscious of how sensitive agriculture is across India, so not just in Kerala, but across India. And it is something that we want to work with India in a smart and sensible manner. But the benefits that further, outcomes could provide is, Arju mentioned to me earlier the fact that he's growing mustard seeds in Australia and being exported or imported into India for manufacturing. So we have a very strong competitive advantage and a complementary relationship when it comes to commodity trade, because we provide high quality inputs, high quality commodities like wheat, chickpeas, lentils, across a myriad of agricultural commodities that can really play into the food manufacturing sector here. So not only would a free trade agreement enable that through reducing the costs through the reduced tariffs, but it will also enable the manufacturing sector to really tap into high quality inputs. So we have really strong systems in place to manage things like contaminants. We have strong food safety processes, strong biosecurity processes, which ensures that the quality of product coming from Australia is of the top quality and it's safe for consumption and for use. So if a free trade agreement that includes those outcomes was to be secured, then your manufacturing segments will, and your businesses will be able to draw on that really high quality product at reduced costs. So, my request would be, yes, we should be advocating for that because it will be significantly helpful for your industries to thrive and grow. And, and the benefit is the re-exporting, not just to Australia, but across the world. But the other part of what we're doing under a free trade agreement is enhancing cooperation. So the Australian industry is very committed to working with the Indian sector and the Indian farmers to uplift their agriculture capabilities as well. So addressing issues like contaminants, addressing things like productivity. Just yesterday, I was at Milma and managed to see some of the fantastic work that's happening in dairy production. But I know one of the big challenges in dairy production here is milk. On a daily basis, an average cow would be producing 8 to 9 litres of milk. Australian dairy and dairy across, Europe and New Zealand and other parts are producing up to 30 litres, per cow per day. So there's a big productivity gap that could be potentially filled. And so we would be looking to enhance that cooperation under a free trade agreement or enhanced free trade agreement that really aids that. So there's a lot of opportunities, whether it's through commercial means, but also through cooperation means as well. It is something that Australia is very ready to continue working with India on.
Thank you, Kiran. I think with the Quad coming up, I think India and Australia should be doing more. And like Aju is doing, growing commodities there. I think there's a lot of potential for India and Australia to collaborate and especially sharing the knowledge. That also will be helpful. So I hope we have done justice to the time that we have. Now we have close to 5 minutes for Q&A. So if anybody would like to ask some questions, please feel free. I would request the volunteers to, please introduce yourself and then ask the question. Yeah.
My name is Achyutan. I'm from IIT Madras. Of course, we have got a small startup company in Kerala. I also in Kerala 39-year-old company. But my question is to Ms. Mioka. Okay, okay. So the thing is, it was nice, but then I would like to know what is the motivation for the entrepreneur to approach ADB when compared with other banks for funding? What is the real motivation? Oh,
Yeah, the issue is, of course, you can approach us, but the problem is we mainly work through with the government, and the government will provide the loans to startups or entrepreneur like you. However, our advantage is a long term. We can guarantee the loan about a 20-year term or even longer. So you're not working on the short-term capital like 3 months, 6 months. So that's the difference that we can offer. And with that, also the technical assistance that can come with. And also we will, since we work mainly with the government, so for example, we had the issue of the land use, right? So like a place like Himachal Pradesh, what we did is we asked the government to prepare the land, fence the land from animals, and before, so you can walk on the ground. So that's gonna be free for you. So those are the work that we can do to support business like you.
Thank you.
Sir, I am Prasho from Angamali. Is wastage and oversupply a significant issue in food processing industry? And what can be taken to address effectively them?
You mean food wastage?
Yeah, wastage and oversupply.
Oversupply.
Yeah, I think lots and lots of papers have been written about the 30% wastage of farm produce that happens, right? But in my mind, I think you should turn the problem on the head and say that if you gave the right quality, we could have actually driven more usage of things, right? So currently, the way everything is structured, wastage is I don't think oversupply is an issue. I think wastage is a big issue. But to me, when I look at agriculture, it's not wastage. It's actually the quality of produce that we are producing amongst our farmers is not up to processing standards. Let me give you a very concrete example. Tomatoes. You know, we grow a lot of tomatoes in this country. The water content in our tomatoes is up to 8%. So that means that when you process a tomato, you get only 92% yield. Whereas when you go abroad, let's say Israel or some of the other tomato growing countries, the yield out of a tomato is upwards of 97 to 99%. So the wastage out there is just 1 or 2%. Now, if you take that on the cost of manufacturing and the price of tomato, Indian tomatoes, because of the poor yield, first it gives you a poor quality product, and then it gives you a higher cost product. So the real problem in agriculture is, are we growing the right varieties for processing? Because if you are able to connect it into the front end, if you have brands and you have brands give you consistent demand, and this demand means that as producers, we need supply from the farmers. And as demand grows, supply from the farmers can grow also. I've had another experience in fruit juices. I can talk to you about that. When I was working with Dabur, we started selling pink guava juice, right? Largely, the guavas were grown around Bangalore, and the farmers were cutting down those trees. Till Dabur actually got into pink guava and launched a pink guava juice, and then the farmers started to again grow the thing, because we were able to establish a strong brand and a strong demand for the pink guava juice. Similar story is there with jamun, similar story is there with lychee. Now you can see the similar story coming out in makhanas, which is now again something which was dime a dozen available, but with brands being created, front-end demand being created, you start to see farmers starting to grow more and more of it, get better value out of it. So you can look at the problem in multiple ways.
Yes, Sunil.
Everyone, myself Rihas Muhammad. We do have a spice startup in Kerala. My question is to Aju Jacob sir. Sir, how do you see the future of B2C or D2C brand in the oleoresin market over next 5 to 10 years? Do you believe that they will become a normal household ingredient?
I think it's got a limited use as a direct to consumer. It will have its own limited use because one, it's highly concentrated. The other option then is to dilute it down, then it becomes more expensive compared to a raw spice. So spice extract being consumer is not, I don't see it as an option or a future. But what happens is a lot of the oleoresins being converted into blends, which getting into processed food, which could be the next step of valuation where we could replace some of the spices that again going to be business to business. And again, also in food service, also there's a lot of opportunity for value-added products going in. But purely to consumer, direct to home, it will have a limited opportunity. It is already there, but it's very limited. It's never grown beyond a point.
You already started startup or in the process? And CI has a program we just launched with the Chief Minister yesterday on hand-holding, startups and micro enterprises. And we industries would be, happy to support you.
My name is Sunil. I am based in Switzerland and a member of Sixth India Chamber of Commerce. I don't have a question, but an information. Most of all of you are aware. Switzerland and India have signed the free trade agreement, and that's a great benefit. That's the tariffs, trade regulations are being eliminated, and it's a great opportunities for companies, stakeholders in all sectors. And I would like to say that use these benefits and take contact with the Switzerland global enterprises. They have offices in Bombay and Delhi. Also, Switzerland embassy in Delhi. Also, connect with myself. You can take my contact and take this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil. So, Sunil was there along with the Kerala government. So, CI had been there in Davos to support the Kerala government, and Sunil was instrumental in arranging the meetings there. Thank you, Sunil. I think it'll be of help for the producers of Kerala. Yeah. Yes.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Surendran from Face Wayanad. Everybody knows that climate change intensifies. As a part of this contribution to the ecosystem, I'm starting to initiate a carbon neutral home. A home, an agri rooftop, and agrivoltaic solar panel, and water harvesting. And the last income is carbon credit I'm looking for. So how you are making this? 7 years period, we have to, from this income, bankable, create it a bankable, and you can sell this produce, get income, and the power is there. You use this power as a value added, another product, vehicle charging, or any other. If you run this system, within 7 years, it gets a free home. So I can sell this home free of cost to anybody. They can run that program. They can take that challenge. How to run this? We give them workshop how to run this also. How you can carry on. So revolutionizing agri-food is a great thing. Appreciate the people behind this. Okay?
Thank you.
So I want anybody can help me. That's the things.
Okay.
Yes, so we do support voluntary carbon credit program with the central government. So I hope the program can cascade down to the state, but even any of the project we can include. And of course, the PM Surya Ghar Yojana, as you mentioned, the solar rooftop. So we also support. So there are so many things that everybody is working towards it. So please do contact the appropriate agencies so that we can extend the support.
Yes, Mr. Shi.
Good morning, all. I'm not in the food industry. I have started my food processing equipment manufacturing since 1985. And without seeing all people here, I can be sure that at least 90% of these people sitting here may be using our equipments we made. And I'm very familiar with Aju sir and Mr. Vinod. And Mane is also using our equipments, and MTR, Eastern, such companies. We had done a lot of research in this segment because all food industry started only after 1985. I'm not talking about the Sindhite, actually. But most of the processing industry started in India and Kerala after 1985. Even Eastern is started in 85. And our company having 400 employees now, and doing a lot of research. Next year, we are developing high-pressure processing HPP technology for non-preservative preservation of any juice items and other things. I thank all of you for giving and procuring our equipments. I
Thank
just
you.
introduce
Thank you,
myself.
Shri. Yeah, so he has been a very good innovator. So good job, Shri. Any more questions? Time is running out. Yeah.
Hello. Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, myself Srihari. Sir, I have a question. With the rise of successful farmers producers company, how do you see their impact in the traditional corporate agri-business models? Do you view them as a competitors, potential partners, or force reshaping supply chain?
Shall I take this? Yeah. I definitely see them as partners because that is where, again, it becomes easy for us to share what our requirements are and to work with the farm FPOs to ensure that practice can be fulfilled through the cooperative, so that it's rather than we dealing with hundreds of farmers, such cooperatives would help us definitely buy ingredients which are of quality. So we definitely see them as partners, not as competition. Definitely not.
Okay, we have run out of time. It's already 11:30. So thank you, my dear panelists. You have done justice with the limited time that we had. And thank you, delegates. You have been really engaging. Hope you all had takeaways. Thank you all. Bye-bye.